to another episode of Unboxing the Birmingham Museum, where each week I, your host Caitlin Donnelly, goes to a different part of our storage areas here at the Birmingham Museum, and we open up a random box. Why? Because we literally have thousands and thousands of objects here at the Birmingham Museum, and I haven't been around and opened up every single box, and I've been here 4 years, so I figured I can learn something, everyone else can learn something, and just have a lot of fun while we're at it. So right now I'm standing in part of the basement of the Allen house, and this is where a lot of our object storage is. We have tons and tons of shelving, a lot of things in boxes. Some things haven't quite made it to a box yet, kind of like in our textile room upstairs. We are transitioning from a lot of stuff on shelves just sitting there to more and more objects being put in boxes, because it's a basement in Michigan. Moisture will happen. And on the walls behind me, I have some silhouettes on the walls. And those are actually silhouettes that were done for the Allen family when they lived here. We have automatic lights here in the basement, so when you're walking through with a box of things, you don't have to worry about light switches. But sometimes it's a little spooky when you're walking down here and the lights don't kick on right away, and then the first thing that you see are like these dark silhouettes on the wall. It's a little scary sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Basements usually don't creep me out too much, but this one does every once in a while. So I'm going to be shooting a couple episodes down here just because we have so many things down here, and I want everyone to be able to see all of it. And this part of the basement as well, we also have behind the camera is our area where we make most of the components for our exhibits upstairs. So if you come to the museum and you see all the labels and all the cutouts and everything else in our exhibit, we print and mount all of that here in-house. And that's part of what makes that really crazy lead up to an opening exhibit a lot of fun, because it's a lot of work to do, but it is really, really fun. So I found a box down here in this row. We are in row 2, and I found a box that there's a label on it, but all it says is assorted items. So I'm really excited to see what's going to be in this box, just labeled assorted items. All right, so we have quite a few things in it. We have a ruler from the plant station that was located at 720 South Adams in Birmingham, Michigan. And it says, make it a rule to shop for all your garden needs at the plant station. Oh, and then it has a planting chart on the other side too for bulbs and tubers. Very useful. And here we have a milk key. This would be for opening up bottles of milk, glass bottles of milk. In order to get the cap off, you need a specialized key like this one. And this is, let me see if I can make it out, RH Fight and Company from Detroit, Michigan. Ooh, and here we have a little book, and it is just entitled Don't. I'm very excited to see what the don't applies to. Okay, so this is just a little book of manners. So at the table, don't use a steel knife with fish. A silver knife is now placed by the side of each plate for the fish course. So there you go. Don't spread out your elbows when you are cutting your meat. And don't eat your vegetables with a spoon. Eat them with a fork. All right, well, I've broken most of those rules already. Also, don't whistle in the street. In public vehicles, at public assemblies, or anywhere where it may annoy. And then don't whistle at all. So, that's cool. Let's see, what else? What else should we not do? Don't cling to one subject. Don't talk about matters that people generally are not interested in. Don't, in short, be a bore. Sometimes I have to remember that when I'm talking about our creepy dolls in our collection. All right, well that's really cool. I think this will make a really cool social media post at some point in the future. All right, and so we have a fuel oil burner permit for the village of Birmingham, and this is permit number 417. Really, really cool object. And then we have a name tag for Florence Peters, switchboard operator for the city of Birmingham. That's really, really cool. Oh, and here we have our little paper mache duck. And actually, I've come across this in Past Perfect a couple times. About a year ago on Twitter, everyone was having a duck war, and this is the only duck in our collection, and I really don't know why it's in our collection. Generally nowadays, when we take something into our collection, we ask you a lot of questions when you bring something in, and a lot of those questions are just to establish the story. You know, who owned this duck? What made it special? What made someone maybe pick this out at the store? Do you have really fond memories of your grandma having this duck on the sideboard and, it was there your entire childhood? Just because that makes it just, then why it was so important for someone to keep this. I mean, obviously it's a cool duck, but knowing someone's why, like why did they buy this? Why did they have it? What made them keep it? Really just makes something that much more special. So, unfortunately, we don't know the why, but if you're watching this and you donated this duck, please let us know. We'd really love to know. All right, so I'm going to go to the next layer of this box here. Ooh, all right. And so down here, we have some matchbooks from Forte, a Birmingham restaurant, and it was located at 201 South Old Woodward, and it has a 248 area code in the phone number, so it couldn't have been that long ago. And we've got a little book, and let's see what we've got. Oh, wrong way. I can't quite make out what is, songs of something. Can't quite make out the title. Oh, okay, and this looks like a hymnal. So fantastic. Spiritual Songs and Hymns for Pilgrims is what it's called. Fantastic. A photographic pic of John Hamilton on it, it says, on the envelope. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, all right. So this actually is a photographic plate, actually. So I will take a close-up of this to show you when I go back into editing. So John Hamilton was one of the first 4 individuals to buy land in what would become Birmingham. The other 3 were John West Hunter, Elijah Willits, and later on Franklin Pierce. And here it looks like we have a photographic plate of George Raynal. So let's take a look at that one too. And George Raynal was known as, we have a Dr. Raynal. And he looks like there were 3 Raynals that were doctors in Birmingham. Ebenezer Raynal was the first, and he was actually on the Michigan Constitutional Convention. So he helped draft Michigan's Constitution way back in the 1800s, and he was the first doctor in Birmingham. And then later his son and grandson were doctors in Birmingham as well. So quite a proud legacy of doctors. And I'm not sure if George was the second or the third in that line. I will look that up and maybe put that on the bottom here. All right, so that looks like this bottle, and we have a little clipboard. Wow, this clipboard is heavy, and it looks like it is from Monsanto Chemicals and Plastics. Still around today, serving industry, which serves mankind. It's just a little clipboard, quite heavy, kind of a bronze color, but solid metal. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Unboxing the Birmingham Museum. Join us next week when we go to another location and a storage area at the Birmingham Museum and start opening up random boxes. So we'll see you then. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and goodbye.